Finally.
The time has come.
What?
It beckons you.
It beckons me. What beckons me?
Part 2, fool, of the 034 insert.
Oh yeah. After I finish my popcorn.
What? Popcorn? Man, your popcorn. Ready?
Ready. Part 2, welcome to it. Look a little rough. But anyway, we're going to finish installing these inserts for the mounts on the rear diff. Car's still up on the air. I haven't driven it in a very long time. I'm getting sad. I like driving my car. Yeah, I'd rather just not jack it up and stuff a bunch of times. Anyway, so I'm gonna roll under this thing and get started. See you under the car. All right, what we're doing underneath here now is we're gonna install a mount insert here. And then if you go to the other side, and then we have this one that we're gonna install. And then toward the front, let's back up, this one. All right, so I've seen in the instructions where they're lowering the exhaust and everything like that. Not to say that's not what you are supposed to do. I'm just gonna see if I don't have to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I think at the very least, I do need to let this hang. The rear sway bar or whatever. I do need to let that hang. Sorry I'm so close. Car's only so high. So we're gonna get the triple square bit that goes in here, lower this down. If I have to lower the subframe, which I think I do, I'll be loosening these back up on both sides. Yep. All right, so this should be a short video. Let's get to it. We're gonna start by removing the rear sway bar. My particular vehicle uses a M10 triple square bit. Some vehicles are Allen keys. Mine's is not. So Allen key, I think they say it's a 6mm, but whatever. This car is not an Allen key vehicle. So we have removed these bolts on both sides, and we're just gonna let it hang now. See, it's hanging. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm going to start loosening the bolts. You can see it. Hold on, let me see. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Right there. I'm gonna start loosening that bolt right there. And then on the other side too. And then we're gonna worry about the front one. We're gonna worry about the front one, which is in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. There it is. I'm gonna probably need to put a jack here. Hopefully I don't have to drop the exhaust. If I do, it's not a big deal. I can do that. Hey guys, so y'all know that sometimes my ways of doing things are unorthodox. So before you judge, hear me out. I didn't have a block of wood, so my hammer is holding the. How do you do this? My hammer is my best friend right now because my hammer is my best friend. All right. So besides that, all right, get a block of wood, put it there, put it under this transmission. Put it underneath the rear diff. Let's talk about this. Okay. So dropping the exhaust would be probably the best route to go so you have space, because space is the problem here. All right, so I've loosened up the bolts here. There's one, you can see it's almost out. And then there's one over here. There's one right there that's not really coming out. There it is right there. You're probably upside down right now, and then I pretty much have taken this one out now. It's right here. I've already loosened it, and it's out here. I gotta go on the other side. So there it is right there. There's a nut on the other side, and that's a 16mm, and this is the easiest one. I had to put a little bit of force up on the pumpkin here, or rear diff, so that bolt will come out freely. So it's right here, coming out. All right, so now there's nothing holding this part up to this cross member frame here. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out the best way to lower the rear diff so I can get the back ones out, because it's not playing nice. But I will let you know what I do. I'm gonna tell you right now, removing the exhaust is gonna be a lot of extra work, but it's probably the best way to get all the clearances you need to get to all the bolts, because those two back rear ones, they were a pain to get a wrench in there with the exhaust in the way and the space that's limited. But just so no one has a heart attack about the hammer, I removed it and I can move the diff. So it's not a big deal. I probably could have just pushed up on the diff to get that out. When you're moving up and down, it's easier with the jack and everything like that. If you have like a block, I would use a block. There you go. All right, so right there is where this insert is gonna go. It's on the front side of the diff, so toward the driver. All right, there it is. So I'm reaching my hand around the shaft, drive shaft, and there you go. So I used oil, and you want to make sure this is flushed all the way down. All right, so a couple of tries later, I was able to get it pretty flush. You want to try to get it all the way down, which I'll be able to do, so you can slide in between here. Ultimately, that's pretty much it, and then it'll be all the way in. So basically, this is the passenger side of the rear diff mount. As you can see, it's pretty much all the way down from where it's supposed to be, because this part is supposed to be up there. The bolt screw is still in it, but that's not important. That's actually good, because hopefully lining it up will be easy. But I'm back to using the hammer to lower it down and move it up and around, up and down, and guiding it. You're gonna want to use a block of wood, of course. Like I said before, don't use a hammer. I'm just using one because that's what I have beside me, and I just didn't feel like doing it any other way. That side is ready to go in. The other side is not. It is not playing nice. All right, so I broke down and went ahead and removed the plate. Now this might be an S5 thing or a Sportback thing, I'm not sure. I removed this plate. It was 4 10mm bolts. I'm about to remove this little support beam. I've been working on, here's the bolt that bolt forever, and it's still hard to turn. I have like no room to turn anything because all these braces and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them. This one is a M12 triple square bit, but if you look, you can also get a socket on it of some size. I think that's a 16 or 18. Let me see real quick for you. All right, looks like it might be a 16 on there. I'm not entirely sure, but it's definitely not an 18. So yeah, I'm gonna remove these bars. Looks like they go underneath. They bolt in one over there, down there underneath that plastic, and then one over here, right there, underneath that plastic. I probably would have been done with this maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes ago, had I just went ahead and removed the exhaust or taken these off, because you just have so much more space to turn these bolts. I have removed the bar, basically this bar on the driver's side. It goes underneath this plastic here, and then there's two more of those 16mm or 12M triple square bits here. So just remove those two. I would tell you just remove the exhaust. Like, it's just making it so much easier if you do it. I didn't do it, of course, as you know me, again, after telling you to do it. But I can now get to this. I can ratchet it down. So it's easier for me to get to now. Once I finally did what I was supposed to do, which was remove the cross little braces here, and was able to get to this now and loosen it up, and it's actually out of the rear diff now. Please make this easy for yourself and just remove those cross-membered bars if you have them. If not, then go ahead and drop the exhaust. All right, so it's all lubed up and oiled up, or whatever you want to call it, and pushed it in. I was able to sneak it past the diff, because guess what's in the way? The exhaust. But I was able to maneuver the diff and slide that in there. Pretty much that's just going to be me lining up the rear diff, hand threading the bolts into the mounts into the rear diff. So the bolts that go through the mounts, hand tightening them first, and the rest of it's just going to be reassembling all the parts that I took off. This will be all done, and then when I'm finished putting it together, it's really late tonight, so I will do the test drive tomorrow for you. It'll just be a few milliseconds. So the install is done. I'm gonna go ahead and take this on a test drive. To help out, like I was telling you before, go ahead and remove the exhaust, and if you have those little crossbar X things, remove that too as well, and then it's a lot easier to do. You'll want to use your jack with a wood block to help line up the rear diff with the subframe, cross subframe, or is that the subframe? Subframe, and that way you can line things up. It's actually not that hard of a install to do, but it can be a pain in the butt if you try to do it like I did, where I try to leave the exhaust up. So save yourself the trouble and just go ahead and remove the exhaust. And remember, when removing the exhaust, check for any cables, wires, anything connected to the exhaust itself, because you know these cars are fancy. So we're test driving these rear subframe mounts and rear diff mounts. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping it does make a significant difference in the way the car feels. Remember, I'm still running E85. Matter of fact, I don't want to go too far because I'm gonna have to fill up here soon. Okay. Yep. I guess I'm not gonna really know if this helps me a lot until I'm able to go and do another quarter-mile run. I won't be able to do that in this particular run. I need to run to the parts store for this next install and grab something, and then I will get a quarter-mile time to see if they help with the quarter-mile time. But okay, what was that noise? You know, the biggest thing with these inserts is everything's supposed to feel more stable, and for the most part, I think it does. I'm definitely feeling even better throttle response, and I'm not hearing a lot of clunk and stuff like that. And I shouldn't say I'm not hearing a lot of clunk. What I mean to say is it's feeling tighter. It doesn't feel as mushy as it did. And if you would have seen, once you do your mounts install, you'll see how cheap Audi got when it came to doing their inserts. I mean, they're cheap, thin, plasticky, rubbery things that they put in there, at least for the subframe. And then there's nothing in the rear diff mounts. It's just empty air. And it just threw the little piece of rubber in there. It's nothing. So I mean, the car is really going to feel different when you push it to its limits, and those mounts gotta start helping out. I mean, there's nowhere I can drive right now to be able to push it that far, but I can tell you that in touching the gas, it does feel more connected. I actually was expecting not to feel much of anything, and I actually do feel more connected. I'm about to hit this left. All right, wear the light for a second. Yeah, it does feel, the way the throttle is responding, it feels like I have a cable or something. I don't know, it's weird. The way the car is responding to when I hit the throttle, it feels like I have a cable instead of drive-by-wire, which is what most of these new cars are. A little bit of twisty roads here. Like I said, I can't really push it to the limit here. Oh, felt like the rear end wanted to come around a little bit. I didn't expect that. I take these turns quite often. All right, let's slow down. Some traffic. This car is coming together. I'm starting to really enjoy this ride even more than I did before. Of course, I got the brakes, inserts, the tune, the mapping's changed. I mean, this is a different car. It needs to keep a smile on my face, and that's what it does. Oh yeah. I really gotta take this thing to like a track. And like autocross type track or a road track, just to really feel it. Well, I think that's it for this video. Got something else coming up. I'm gonna be recording pretty much right after this one, so I can get that video out to you guys too. I got some things planned, track, actual drag, trips planned, and things like that. It's just waiting for things to kind of settle down a bit in the home, and we'll go there. All right, guys, peace. See you next time.